This is a door, hollow core, cheap, hollow at its core. And really the biggest problem is it ugly and it's flat. It's flat. What's up, baby?
Are we filming me eating a croissant?
Can you go get my backpack?
Why? Why? Yes. Ivy, which lens do I look at?
This is a door. Oh my gosh, there's a spider web.
It's like a haunted mansion.
It is. All right, we're gonna redesign this door from a flat hollow core door to a 5-panel door. I've already done this several times with several doors, and this is the last door. It's already painted, but it hasn't had the texture added to it or anything.
Right.
The panels.
It remains ugly, that's true.
It does remain ugly.
Okay, so what you'll need, just a relatively cheap plywood. It's usually about 1/4 inch thick.
5 millimeters.
It's 5 millimeters.
5 millimeters is actually smaller than 1/4 inch.
Okay.
I think, if I did the maths right. 1/4 inch would be 0.25, 0.19, 5 millimeter. We got 5 millimeter underlayment.
Totally.
4
We
foot
totally
by
did.
8 foot sized underlayment,
Right.
measuring 5 millimeters. You'll need plywood, 4 foot by 8 foot, 5 millimeter, or 1/4 inch underlayment.
Actually, it's not really 1/4 inch. It's 0.19 if you want to be.
So mad at you right now. You're gonna need plywood, you're gonna need glue,
And tape.
painter's tape, or a brad nailer to
Yep.
secure it while
Yep.
the glue dries,
Yep.
and a circular saw, or a table saw, or you can have it cut at the store, which is our least favorite option.
They don't guarantee that your cuts are going to be precise. And so you're just really living on the edge to do it that way.
Listen.
And maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't.
So all that you'll need
Oh my gosh, I'm not saying it again.
is a 4 by 8 piece of underlayment plywood. Before you start, you want to decide what look are you going for.
What do you want?
Yeah, we're going to
Just
show
decide.
you. We chose a 5-panel door. You can also make it look like a neat geometric design, which we did on our closet doors in our
Yes.
bedroom. When you're ready to start, you're going to want to remove the hinges from your door, or you can tap, tap, tap the little hinge pins out.
Exactly.
And remove your door. You're going to remove the doorknob because you're going to paint at the end, and it's a lot easier to just take the hardware off, paint, rather than have to paint around the hardware. But if you really don't want to take the hardware off, like,
Live
you
your
be
life.
you.
Live your life.
You be you. People will judge you, but you be you. Once you remove the hardware, you're going to want to lightly sand down your door with 120 grit paper.
So we've told them take the door down. We've told them sand it down. We've told them you're gonna need some stuff.
Okay.
And then we've told them that you want to cut that plywood and put it on there. Like,
Yikes.
next. Hi, Amanda.
Liquid nails, some 18 gauge 3/4 inch finishing nails, or
Green tape.
you can hold it in place with green tape.
Yep. If you do it near a large body of water, you want to use the nails.
So we're just gonna glue this. I would glue the strip and I would go in a zigzag motion. She's stuck.
Oh no. Guess what? If I do this with the gimbal, it looks like you're on a rowboat.
Back and forth. You don't need that much of this, folks. You might notice we're putting this on over the door handle cutout.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is, before we put the trim on the other side, we're gonna turn it over and drill out the hole
Yeah.
so that we have it in the exact right spot. I'm wiggling it back and forth a little,
Yeah.
making sure it's down there. Now, you can, at this point, put some painter's tape down
Yep.
Starting at the door over top here and ending at the other side of the door.
You want some of your adheration to be on the door and some of it to be on the strip.
We're gonna use some brad nails. Make sure when you're brad nailing, you keep your fingies out of the way. I shot myself in the finger once. All right, we've got one side.
Yay!
What are you doing?
Tape measuring.
Oh.
We've got 2 strips in place. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our horizontal measurement for our horizontal strips, okay? What it needs to be is 16 and 7/8.
How many horizontal strips are you?
Well, baby, it's gonna be 5 3.5-inch strips and then one that's 7 inches.
Yeah, and where's the 7-inch one going?
It's gonna go on the bottom. Okay, so here's the truth. I'm not very good at figuring out the math of something like this. So what I do is I try to make it as simple as possible. Put on the top one, put on the bottom one. The 4 that go in the middle, what I do, I push them all down to one end. So now, what we would do, I just measure what's that opening. In our case, it is 55 and 1/8. So here's the simple way. Nobody's gonna notice if you have one opening that's 1/8 of an inch different than the others. So I'm just gonna take that number, 55 inches, and I'm gonna divide it by the amount of panels, which is 5. So there's 11 inches of space in between each one, and you don't have to account for the thickness of the strips because you've moved them out of the way. So if I take this down and I put it down in this area at 11 inches, you go 11 inches, put your board in and then measure 11 inches, put your board in, go 11 inches, put your board in, go 11 inches, put your board in. Now what you have is you've got one panel that's 11 inches, 2 panels that are 11 inches, 3 panels that are 11 inches, 4 panels that are 11 inches, and a 5th panel that's 11 and 1/8. And that really doesn't matter.
So at this point, the door is pretty much done. If you've taped it down, you have to wait for the glue to dry before you can finish it with stain or paint. Since we nailed ours down, we actually could paint it right now if we wanted to. I'm going to not paint it right now because I don't feel like it.
Totes. And maybe take a nap.
And maybe take a nap. And this door's probably gonna sit in our basement for a couple months. Oh, stay tuned.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need to stay tuned.
Hi. Since our first video, we have become just abundantly famous. And we have not one, but 2 extraordinary patrons, May Danger and Shannon. You are the thin, beautiful strips of wood that will ornately cover the ugly door that is our lives. Thank you from the deep down recesses of our hearts for what you've done in supporting us and getting access to all those fun extras that we provide. Okay, so this is my sister Angela. She's in town. We are putting the door back on its hinges, which is an ultra complex process that will require us to video it and teach it to you. So here we go. My favorite part about DIY is when I get to be the size I am and bend over to work. I don't know that I can do much with this one, Mandy.
Here, I'll get real close. Go ahead.
She's tough, like an ox. Lovely ladies, working hard in total darkness.
Oh, crap. It's all right, yes! As long as we have one.
When you go to close your door with your newly placed beautiful panels on, what's gonna happen is it's gonna bump, because your door is thicker now. We're gonna pry these off. We're gonna move them back a little bit. All right, so now we've got our doorknob reinstalled. So the next step, you close it. Once you're on the other side, you just reinstall your trim with it fully closed so that it becomes the stop point. With most of this type of trim, you're gonna have a flat side and a rounded side. And then on the top, you'll have an angle, and the bottom it'll be flat. When you're ready to put your trim back on, you're just gonna close your door to its natural closing spot. Now that the thickness has changed, it's gonna land at a new spot, but now we've closed it. And so you're just gonna put your piece of trim back in, and you just put it right up against the door. And then you just put a couple brad nails in. But wait.
I don't have my mic on again, so.
Yeah, I love being this close where our faces touch. It's my favorite. Guess what? It's no longer ugly. Success.